Welcome back, I'm SilverAxisKiwi, and this is my LASO guide for the third mission in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary on the Master Chief Collection. I've heard people have had trouble with this mission, especially if they're doing solo runs, so today I'll show you the ins and outs of this mission so you can have an easier time getting through it. First off, you will start with a sniper so you can sit back on this ridge and take out as many enemies as you can before moving up. Don't be afraid to use your shots on grunts or jackals because there will be more sniper ammo later on. I highly suggest first taking out the elites and a few enemies, and then you can move up. You could snipe all the enemies here, but you don't want to waste too much ammo. Remember, your melee is strong, so you don't have to use all your ammo on this first part. Once you kill the elites and anyone in the turrets, you can move up to the ridge a ways until your marines will then follow you. Also, make sure to be careful of any grenades your marines may throw. They may still be a little salty from last mission. Aw, she just sounds so fucking cute. I want to pinch her pixelated little cheeks. Anyways, after you get through the first fight, you'll checkpoint on this ridge and there will be some more enemies and turrets around. You can use some more sniper shots here on a few grunts and anyone sitting in the turrets. Just up ahead there will be health and more ammo, so you don't have to worry about conservation. Just make sure you're hitting your target. Right here you can stock up on some health and fill your sniper back up to full. Once you move up a bit further, there will be a few grunts left and an elite which you can two-shot with your sniper if you hit him in the head. Flush out any remaining enemies and continue up through to the next ridge where you get another checkpoint. For this next part there will be some elites, grunts, and jackals and 3 turrets located around the area. Make sure to always have some sniper ammo ready to headshot anyone that hops into a turret. The best way to get through this fight is to follow the ridge on the left side towards these jackals. Take them out and there will be an elite or 2 that will be nearby. If you can take out 1 or possibly 2, then the rest of this will be a piece of cake. Near where this elite is that I'm shooting at right now is an active camouflage that you can run over and pick up to help kill any remaining enemies in the area. Right by this tree are some marines and the active camouflage that I mentioned. Pick that up and you can run by the turrets and kill them real easily. If you shoot your gun or bump into an enemy, they can only see you for a short amount of time before you disappear again. All you gotta do is run behind the elites and melee them. Now that you've killed all the enemies in this area, you will go through this crevice and get a checkpoint. The next area of this mission can take a while to get through as there's a lot of fighting, but there's an easier way to get through it. First you can toss a grenade up to that turret which will fully eliminate one source of damage, which is very important for later on. You will then run up this little hill where a turret is on your left and more are in the distance. Hide behind the rock and wait for your reinforcements to arrive. The marines will not arrive if you don't run up further into the map, so this is why you go and hide behind this rock. When the pelican flies in, all the remaining turrets and enemies will be distracted, so you can run a circle around the area and kill everyone in the turrets to make your life simpler. After taking out this grunt in the turret, you can run down this small incline where there is health and ammo which you'll need. After that, continue to use your marines as a distraction and kill the remaining enemies in the turrets and finish your circle back to where you started. The reason we make a circle here is because you can use the rocks back at the crevice you came through as an area to fight the waves of enemies that will spawn. Now this is why we use that grenade at the beginning to take out the turret, so when we are fighting in this area, none of the enemies will jump in the turret and shoot at you. The other turrets don't matter because they will all run towards where you are and there are no more turrets there. Use any remaining sniper ammo and grenades to take out all the waves of enemies. If you run out of ammo, you can go back to the previous area and look for some. If you happen to be completely dry, all is not lost. The other reason we are back here is because of all the cover we can use to our advantage. Remember playing Ring Around the Rosie in the second mission? Well, we can do a similar thing here by just using the terrain as a way to get closer and melee them. At this point, I had gone through so many waves of enemies that I had no ammo left, so I went back through the crevice to look for some. I ended up getting a checkpoint, so if you get pretty far into the battle, then try running back a ways and see if it will checkpoint you again. During the last wave of enemies, 2 hunters will also spawn on that platform in the middle of the map. They are pretty slow, so if you can take out the wave quick enough, you won't have to worry about them shooting at you. The tricky part is trying to kill them both if they are together and not separated. If you hang back long enough, one may go up on the ridge and one may stay behind, which is your cue to fight them. If not, then you just have to be cautious of their attack patterns. Hunters when alone are quite possibly the easiest enemy in this game to fight. You can literally run circles around them in melee and there's nothing they can do about it. This one decided the hunter life was not for him and ended it before I could do anything. The last one for me was sitting in the corner over here, and you can use the same tactic as the other one. Run around them and melee until they go down. Be careful of their attacks if you mess up. They have one attack that is an upswing and then another downswing after that. Usually if you get hit once by the upswing, you will get knocked back, so you don't have to worry about the second hit, unless it's in an enclosed area. After you kill the 2 hunters, make sure you pick up some more ammo and then you are free to go onto the platform and wait to get teleported up into the ship. You are now about halfway done with the mission, maybe a little less. So if you haven't been disheartened already by the first few missions and what you've seen so far of the third, then this may be frustrating if you've tried it before. However, there is a trick to this part that makes it infinitely easier and you'll wish you would have known about it sooner. As you saw, I killed the elite that came out of the doorway and entered through it. These sets of doors usually have enemies spawn out of them, but you can go into them and be relatively safe. Make sure to go through the doors on this side of the room, as the other side is only a dead end. Once in here, you'll want to sit back in this corner and wait for about 2 or 3 minutes. I was waiting here for about 2.5 minutes before moving to these doors. A bunch of elites and grunts will all be clumped together at this spawn location, so you can toss a grenade and get a bunch of kills. Afterwards, they will probably move out back to the middle of the map, but you just killed a majority of the enemies already. You can toss out a few more grenades and then snipe any elites that try to run at you through the hallway. Make sure to be patient with your shots, because if you miss, you will get killed. A few more elites may try to run at you, but just use the hallway to your advantage and take them all out with your sniper. Afterwards, you can run through these doors and out back the way you came in, and there's an active camo waiting on the ground. Pick that up and use it to kill any remaining enemies in the area. After that, you will get checkpointed for your hard work. Afterwards, you will then be greeted by 2 hunters that come through the large door. Giggity. You can use the same tactic of meleeing them in a circle, but it will be a lot more difficult this time. You will either be fighting one while the other shoots you, or fighting both at the same time, which is also not easy. Here I just decided that I would fight one and hope the other misses, which is exactly what happened. Sometimes the one shooting will get stuck behind something, so you can use that as a way to take them out when they're separated. Now you can go back through the door that you were camping in before and continue on with the rest of the mission. You're going to be fighting through a few hallways with some grunts and elites, but it's a small area, so it shouldn't be too difficult. When you get to the end of the hallway, you'll enter a large room where a jackal is facing away from you. Immediately go right and drop down onto the boxes so you don't take fall damage. There's a decent amount of enemies, and there's a way where you don't have to fight all of them. Stick to the left side wall and run around the edge. The grunts and elite at the bottom will most likely see you, but it doesn't matter. You can run over to these dead marines and pick up the health and sniper ammo they have on the ground. Continue through the doorway and take cover around a corner. Make sure not to go into the next door down the hallway, as there is an elite in there. All you need to do is stay in this spot and take out some elites and grunts. However, after you kill the elite, you need to run out to the doors on the opposite side of the room where a few grunts will come out of. These doors will not open unless they are triggered by enemies, so you need to use them to get through, so you don't have to kill all the enemies up top as well. You'll continue through these hallways where there's an elite and some smaller enemies. Once you take them out and get to the end, you'll be faced with another large open room with enemies up top and bottom. There's an elite on the left, but I stick to the right wall and run around the outskirts to get to the other side. There will be grunts through one doorway you can throw a grenade at so they don't shoot you. There will also be a second group you can toss one at too if you want. The reason we are taking free damage to get to the other side is because that's where all the good stuff's at. There's more sniper ammo, grenades, and an overshield for you to pick up, all of which are very useful for this area. You'll want to sit in this corner and use your sniper to take out the enemies up top first. There will be 2 jackals and an elite up there to kill, and then you can work on the enemies below. Once you've defeated the enemies on both floors, there will be 2 hunters that enter the room closest to where your corner was. You can run to the other side where there is a dead marine with some health and ammo. You can then run around and see if you can get a shot off onto the backside of the hunters. I was able to one-shot one of them when I hit the weak spot on their back. Either use excessive force with bullets like I did, or start a melee battle and save some ammo for later on. Once you've defeated the 2 hunters, the door right where your corner was will open up and you can continue on. All you'll be doing here is fighting through some invisible elites and grunts, so I won't go into detail about it. However, up at this part is the second floor to where you were below. When you enter and pass a certain point, enemies will come through the door that you had just entered in. You can turn around and throw a grenade and fight them, which is what I suggest, or you can run past and enter through the next door where there are more enemies. I suggest killing the first batch because they will follow you through to a certain point in the next hallway, so I feel it's just best to kill them off early and not have to deal with them later. Now you'll continue through a short hallway where there are 2 grunts and an elite. Then you'll arrive at the 3rd floor where there are some more enemies. You can toss a grenade through the first door if you have one, or just use your sniper to take them all out. When you continue on, there will be another door at the end of this floor with some more enemies behind it. There will be no elites, so you can just melee them all without any troubles. Go through some more hallways and shiz until you reach this area with a sword elite up top and a few elites and smaller enemies below him. Follow my pathing to the side room where you can pop out with your sniper and easily take out the sword elite without taking any damage. You can work your way around these 3 doors that open up into the room and kill off any remaining enemies with your sniper. If you need any ammo or health, you can run back to this area over here and then continue on killing. Once you're done here, follow the marker to the doorway you need to go to and follow the hallway until you get to a door on your left side that will be open. This room will be empty, but is very essential to go in here because you can get some more health and ammo, and there is an invisibility lying behind the control panel that will be very useful for a later fight. Once you pick up the invisibility, immediately run out and follow the hallway towards the next open door. Ignore the jackals because you are timed, and simply melee all the elites in the room in the back for a quick kill and an easy fight. You'll open up the door for keys and a few soldiers, and you'll have to fight some enemies that come out of the door. You'll then fight through the hallways going back to the larger room where we were in before. Make sure to keep keys behind you and safe from danger. If he dies, then you fail and reset checkpoint. This part isn't hard, but the next one may be considered difficult. If you didn't know about my secret cheesy strats, that is. Once you reach this room again, there will be 3 invis elites with swords, and they're pretty easy to kill. What comes after, however, is not so easy. But truthfully, it is super easy if you just do one simple thing. They will talk back and forth for a while in this room until enemies will start entering. You'll know when the battle is about to begin because they will stop talking and the music will start playing. All I did here was run back into the hallway where we came from and checkpointed at the back. This part is supposed to be hard because Keys usually dies a lot and a bunch of enemies are flooding the room. However, when I did this, there were no enemies when I re-entered and I was able to continue on to the end of the mission. Easy as pie. Now just make your way to the last marker, and that is the end of the 3rd mission in Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary on LASO for the Master Chief Collection. Please leave a comment if you know of any more super cheesy strats to get through this tough mission so others can have an easier time. I'll see you next time for the 4th mission on LASO difficulty.